Lessons, guys. Alex Angelo with you. Welcome to my channel and my page. And I haven't been online for a little while, but now I'm back with my fullest potential, preparing the new content for you about the spirituality and about the concept of spiritual growth and spiritual guidance. So if you watched my videos before, you know that I usually love discussing different kind of aspects of spirituality in my videos and trying to specifically give you some information about how the spirituality actually works. So in today's subject is going to be very relevant personally for myself, is because I'm going to talk about basically the purpose of life. And it's specifically or very relevant to me with myself is because for years I was searching for myself until I came up to the point where I realized that actually my spiritual skills and the spiritual journey that I've been on already for 11 years is now paying it off, in terms of that I can now clearly see my goals in my life. I can now move towards my goals bravely, I would say that. And it's all because I realized the very one and very big misconception that society and people think about. And today's advice, spiritual advice, is actually going to be very simple yet very transformative, because again, as I told you, I personally experienced that myself, and I personally went through all those stages of the growth and expansion, and still going. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't believe in the sense that you can just grow to a certain point and you should stop there because you were able to achieve certain goals in your life. No, the life is not a destination. Life is a process, and by every day while we are living, breathing, and doing something, we're evolving. We're evolving physically, we're evolving mentally, we're evolving spiritually. So, and that's why I decided specifically to do this little vlog today about the biggest misconception that the society has, and it is about finding your path or finding your purpose. There's no such a thing in this world, finding your purpose. There's only one thing, and if you take a look at this from the different perspective psychologically, right? If you don't think that I need to find my purpose, because eventually it can make you feel even more depressed and even more lost. We're in fact not lost. None of us is really lost. The only reason why we might feel suppressed or lost or kind of upset and frustrated with ourselves deep within is because we have not been able to discover our fullest potential. And let me tell you this, every individual on this planet is specific and very unique. And each of us has our talents, each of us has our gifts, each of us has something to offer to others and to the society. And that's why it is very important to look at the subject not like, oh, how do I find myself or how do I find my purpose, but instead think about it like you need to build yourself. The purpose of finding yourself in this life is actually building yourself. Because as I said just earlier, you're an individual with your unique personality and unique abilities and unique potential. And by using that specific potential, by developing that specific potential, guess what? You are creating your own purpose. So first of all, I need to say, actually, I want to start about explaining to you why it would be a good idea to look at this situation or to look at this subject from the perspective of building yourself, not finding yourself. As we have probably all of us watched and gone through hundreds and hundreds of different kind of reels and sitting and scrolling on Instagram or other apps, and listening to motivational speech and about how people wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and they run around and they get this done, get that done, get this done. Guess what? At some point, this can really make you feel depressed because you start thinking that there is something wrong with you. If somebody else out there can do this, then why can't I do this? It's because actually the people that you watch and the people that you listen to or that you're trying to get the advice from are actually sharing their own experiences, which means that kind of lifestyle, that kind of approach to life may work for them very well, but may not exactly be your path. So by trying to imitate someone else's path, by trying to imitate someone else's purposes or goals in life, what we're doing is that we're getting even more lost. we're getting even more into the swamp of, confusion. So instead of doing that, you can definitely take the theory of those people. You can read hundreds and hundreds of different kind of books about psychological books or about life coaching or about how to build your life, how to grow, and etc., right? But at the same time, don't forget that in those books and those resources, people who were able to achieve certain things in their life only express and describe and explain their own experiences, their own unique experiences based on their own personality and their worldview, life view. So it may not be specifically your path. And that's why it is much more beneficial building yourself and building your purposes in this life rather than just trying to find yourself, trying to find the purpose of this life. Because guess what? One of the main principles of how to build yourself is that mind, spirit, and body. All these three should be aligned together. If one of these three is in disbalance, guess what? The other ones are not going to be managing very well. Why? Because it is actually proven that a lot of times people who go through depression, who go through middle-age crisis, they end up in that situations because they probably paid a certain amount of attention or invested a lot in achieving materialistic goals or materialistic purposes, right? In this life, like getting a car, buying a house, I don't know, like yachts and all these things. But at the end of the day, still, many of them, even including the Hollywood stars, may feel very lonely, may feel very empty, may feel depressed, might be on hundreds and hundreds of antidepressants. And the reason behind it is because they invested some sort of a very major part of their life in building themselves as a form or as an individual of the society, but neglecting their spirituality, their spiritual growth, their mental growth, which is, again, that's why those people eventually end up in depression, because regardless of having billions and millions of dollars and all this materialistic goods, those things do not fulfill them completely, and there's still some sort of sense of emptiness. There's still some sort of sense of being lost. And one of the reasons behind it is because they have not worked enough on themselves to actually balance all these three together. Because guess what? When your body is healthy, then your mental state is in a better place. When your mental state is in a better place, it means your spirit is strong. And when your spirit is strong, it has the drive to move forward. It has the drive to achieve, to expand, to grow. So when one of these things is in balance, so unfortunately, we are not going to be able to actually build our path exactly in the same way as we want to have it. Because think about it this way. Almost each of us watching this video has that better version of yourself somewhere on the back of your mind, right? I mean, we have it there and we can clearly see it there. But the question is that a lot of people get frustrated and upset and depressed about how am I going to become that person? And the answer is very easy, by taking small but constant steps. Consistency is the key to everything, whether it's manifestation, whether it's spiritual growth, whether it's like materialistic growth. As we all know, consistency and discipline is important. But discipline does not usually come from just forcing yourself. Discipline is something that needs to be built as well. So that's why building your own path, building your own purpose, building yourself as an individual is way more important and is way more relevant rather than finding yourself, because you are actually, in fact, not lost. The feeling of being lost comes from the inner deep sensation of not being able to bring out your potential, your hidden potential to the fullest. And when that doesn't happen, what happens is that the soul says, I am in discomfort because I know that I'm unique. I know that I have this potential in me, whether it can be a talent in different areas of life, right? As I just said before, we're all unique and talented in different ways. So when we are not working on that talent of ours, when we're not really developing that certain unique talent of ours, and we're not pushing it to the fullest potential, what happens at this point, the disbalance between our soul, our body, and mental state starts, and that's when we get caught up in the swamp of depression or negative emotions. And don't forget, in one of my previous videos, I actually also explained that the negative thinking is also attracting the negative energy more. Let's not forget about the law of attraction, which is also a very important part of being able to build up yourself. So like there are different ways of being able to build up yourself. And one of the most popular one of them is, which I actually work with my clients and advise them on a regular basis, is the affirmations. Some people don't believe in the power of affirmations and they think, oh, it doesn't really work because I tried it for a couple of days, it didn't work. No, because it requires consistency. Because our subconscious, in order to gain that information that we're trying to put in it, it needs to have the sense of consistency so it can actually feel it, so it can actually process it. And after that, basically the success happens. Imagine yourself, I believe you've seen that probably in video 100 times, like when you have a glass of dirty water, right? And you open the tap and you let the clear water fill the glass of dirty water, and eventually what happens, that clear water pushes out all that dirty water, which means we're reprogramming our subconscious mind. We're reprogramming our views of world, and by doing this, guess what happens in our brain, in our mental state? The new neurons start appearing. In other words to say, the new neurons start building up. And that's why I think that actually our soul and our body and our mind is fascinating. I mean, as individuals, human being is the most fascinating creature ever existing on the earth. So think about it this way. If every day you try to take a little step, just a little step, even if it's hard for you to come out of the comfort zone, because the comfort zone is exactly where we're being caught up. And because of this, we feel kind of locked, we feel kind of restricted, limited in our abilities, right? But if we take that little step on a daily basis with consistency, then it is proven that every new habit, every new positive habit creates a new neurons in your brain. And while you're going to keep up with the consistency, that positive habit is going to bring up to another positive habit, and then that positive habit is going to bring up to another positive habit. We can say the same thing about the bad habits, right? You start smoking, you want to drink, you start drinking, and then it goes even worse. So like, remember that there's always two sides of the mirror, and this is how you want to look at this. But if you really want to achieve your fullest potential of your soul, of your body, and of your mental state, then I would highly recommend you to start looking at the subject of finding yourself as a building yourself. Because the benefits of building yourself is that first of all, by building yourself, you're making your own path, you're making your own individual way. You don't really follow other people's behavioral patterns, but instead you work hard on yourself, trying to find your own trying to find your own purpose that's deeply hidden within you. And guess what? Once you learn how to bring that hidden potential out, trust me, you will see how everything in your world around you is going to change. How the energy is going to be incredibly different. You're probably even going to notice how your surrounding is going to change, and how you're most likely going to attract people like-minded who are more motivated of building themselves. And then this will actually be a part of your life already. And by becoming a part of your life, by taking everyday small steps, whether it's like going to the gym, whether it's reading like 15-20 minutes a day, whether it's just like doing your favorite activities, but again with consistency. And once you do that, guess what happens? Everything around you, your world, is going to drastically change. And I'm telling you, this is someone who has been on this journey for almost 11 years, and I'm still on this journey, and I'm very satisfied with the sense of where I am today with my soul and with my mental health finally, because I also struggle just like everybody else. Before coming to the spirituality, I was struggling. I was also going through a lot of different emotions and a lot of different confusions, like, how am I supposed to find myself? How am I supposed to find myself? And then eventually, after doing so many researches, putting the theory of different kind of people, spiritualists, esoterics, psychologists, parapsychologists, I made my own plan of how to build myself, taking the little advice from each of them, their theory, and then putting it into my own practices. And guess what? That's exactly how I was able to find and actually to build myself. By saying find myself, to build myself, and I'm still building myself. So my point is this: you're not lost. The only thing is that you are not yet aware of your hidden potential. And once you find out what your hidden potential is, once you really take a listen deep down inside of your soul, because your soul, your intuition, your sixth sense knows. Trust me, they know. And once you listen to yourself, and once you understand what the hidden potential is, and you start taking daily, even the smallest step, then this will drastically change your life. I hope that today's mini spiritual advice was helpful for you guys. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and leave your comment about this discussion. I will be more than happy to hear your opinion and about how you were able to build yourself or how you are building yourself. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay blessed.